Real estate prices. My biggest pet peeve is in real estate when the home is not marketed or priced right. Now, sellers love to think their home's worth more, aka even myself. I agree. I always think everything's worth more on my own stuff. And most of the time I have to reality check and I fact check and I make sure I'm comped right, and I'm always right with my numbers. At least 99% of the time. The market goes up and down and predicts where the industry goes. Most of the time I'm surprised with how many multiple bidding wars I get. I'll get 3 or 4 or predict, or I'll say, hey, this is what's going on. I even have a Rambler coming up, should have 5, 6, 7, 8 offers because that's the one behind it a month ago. Now, has the market changed a month ago from that home and when it's listed to the one that's now coming up? Maybe it gets 1 offer. Maybe people don't like the location because it's 1 street over. Even though exact same Rambler, updates the same, price is gonna be the same. So we'll see what happens. I'll update you in a few weeks with what we get once that thing closes, probably a month. But when it comes down to price, you can't go back to old COVID prices. I have people that saw that price 2 years ago and like, that's my price. The prices have gone down this way. Now, has inventory shrunk? Absolutely. We are way down on inventory. Has actually the tax value of your home gone up? Absolutely, because the county and city and states, everybody's finally catching up from 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Problem is they haven't adjusted for this last year or the year and a half ago. So now they went way up this way and then it's gone down this way again. And so if you got your tax value, I've got a lot of friends that are actually fighting it because it has dropped down this direction. And of course, when you start arguing and saying, well, no, prices are way up or skyrocketing, absolutely, but it's in each area, niche and that. So you can take a look at homes. There's a lot more homes on the market or longer on the market that have been. One, either they're trying way too high in price, they're doing the old COVID price or anything like that, and the agent either didn't market it right or saying you'll get a bidding war or it'll be multiple offers, or the market's really hot, but it's very selective. So I'm very careful with my clients saying, yeah, you're gonna get multiple offers, or yeah, it's a bidding war, or yeah, let's try this higher price, because it's very niched in each area. And who knows, right now coming in the winter, the rain hasn't hit here yet, but I think we're very seasonal. So when the rain hits, I think it's gonna slow down a lot. Now there's still people that hunt in the rain, especially if you're local from Washington, you're moving, transitioning, and it's a good listing, good price. So what's that mean? Good listing, good price. Well, right now it depends on what's selling. The median prices right now between 500, 600, maybe a little bit more, up to 800 are selling. Once we start going past 800 to a million plus, it depends on the location. Waterfront, not waterfront. Is there a demand for it? Is the area good? And that goes with any of the prices. Because I've seen some that have not sold that I swore would have gone off the market when I've seen someone else's listing come up, and it's still there. Pictures, marketing, its own website, its own video. You need your own video. I've preached this forever in marketing, but if you're not getting your own video from your listing agent, I'd honestly just deduct another percentage of commission. No offense out there, but if the agent isn't giving you the best marketing, what are you doing? Because you should have your own dedicated website to your listing that you can share with family and friends. Check out my own listing. Here's my pictures. Here's my video. Here's my tour. Here's even sometimes Matterport, sometimes floor plans. Depends. I'm not a big fan of Matterport. I can go in that detail later. I do like floor plans, but I love the video because anybody, as you know, we click and watch the video as long as it's done right. It has to be done clean. With that being said though, where is the market going? Everybody's like, well, what's happening right now? Yes, I am listing stuff that is flying off the market. On the other hand, I have stuff that's stalled out because I let the sellers pick their own price. And that was a mistake. And I admit, and I've known this and done this for how long? How long have we been doing this as real estate agents? And when you let the seller say, I want this price, and you're like, okay, I can adjust, as long as we maneuver and adjust with the price, never fails. No, I don't want to touch a price. No, I don't want to adjust. I want to stay here for longer. They sit and stay and stay. It either gets canceled or expired. And that was my problem. And this is some advice for real estate agents, is asking them, are we actually wanting to play the market and see what happens? Maybe we'll sell. If we don't care. Or are we actually wanting to sell? Because if we're not wanting to actually sell and your end goal is to just play, and if I get a certain price, great. If I don't, I'm gonna pull it off the market. That's a huge waste of time and a red flag for real estate agents. Now you may say, I don't mind, I'll gamble, maybe we'll get it, maybe we don't, I don't have any listings. In my business right now, time is money and I don't waste time. So if you're ready to sell, absolutely. If we're gonna sell or you wanna play the market, but here's our plan, absolutely, we'll sit down and go over that plan. But if you're just wanting to play and throw it out there and see if you hit something with the dartboard, and if it doesn't hit, we drop it, that's wasting time, because I guarantee you 90% of the time, way overpriced, and everybody can see it. Online, they can do their research. They can look up your tax value. Anybody can nowadays, and it's easy. You go in there and search, and you have the Zillow and a Redfin and all the other websites that predict your value. That's fine. Sure enough, sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. Depends on location again, depends on the algorithms, and to be honest, what comps they're using, and half the time the comps still don't show if that comp was updated or not. So you have an updated brand new kitchen, living room, bath, flooring. Yours is not, but that comp still gets put into your algorithm, and so now your price is $50,000 more, yet you're not taking the time to go through the pictures, look at the comps and say, oh, well, that one's completely different. That's a whole different ballgame compared to mine. Or square footage, or if the square footage wasn't calculated right. I can go on, but I digress. With the price, we need to make sure it's priced right. Now, I have a lot of good clients now that are just saying, let's price it at value. If we get a higher bidding war, great, but let's get it sold. And that's what's going on right now. And I think a lot of it is macro and microeconomics as well on a whole. What's going on with our country? Do we need to sell? Are we ready to move? Are we ready to cash out? And everybody's starting to realize the interest rates and the plans of refinance down the road or take the interest. I'm getting a lot of retirees that have the cash now, don't worry about interest rates, or now cashing out and taking that money and putting somewhere else. Whatever your ball game is, give me a call. I will help sell, list it right, do the full package, get it all done. But the market is still busy as of right now. So I say that right now, it is still busy. I still have buyers running around. I just ran around with a few more buyers. I still have buyers set up and ready to go. I have a bunch of listings. I've been going to listings and asking, Ron, what do you think of the kitchen? Ron, what do you think of the living room floor? What should we do? What should we update for spring? How should we be ready? So I do have a lot of listings coming on this spring. I think it's going to be very busy again. So my smart buyers are buying now because they know when spring comes up, yes, there'll be more inventory, guaranteed, absolutely. But there's also going to be a lot more buyers, especially if I'm having a lot more listings, the buyers start snowballing, and it just snowballs like this. Now you get in the bidding wars. And yes, if you can wait to list in the spring, absolutely. If you can cash out now, it's up to you. Who knows what happens after this election year and then what goes on next spring. We don't know if it's going to go up or if it does drop. If it drops, then you're waiting to list. That may be a problem too, because right now the buyers are here. Will interest rates go down? Hopefully they're supposed to, but they have the opposite effect on the market with all the articles I'm reading and everything else. So you never know when to time the market. When it's right for you to time the market, that's when it's going to happen. Now it's just pricing it right, maneuvering and making sure we get it sold. And we don't waste time. You don't play games. You don't try to do this or that. Now it comes with the caveat. Yes, you can, hey, my home's worth 600. I want to try 630, 640. Yeah, you can try a little higher. You can play some games. Or, hey, I want to try a little lower. Maybe get a bidding war because everybody knows it's lower. And I've seen that happen before too, where it then gets bumped up because it's priced way below everything else. And you do get more buyers because they see that along with the agents. So you can have different strategies and play the game as long as, again, the end goal is to sell the home. So if you have any questions, you want to go in detail and stats and numbers and CMAs, give me a call. I've been sending them out like crazy. Been winning them, getting them stockpiled, or getting new listings. I have a few more listings coming up as well. Call me. I will go over all of this. This is the best part of real estate, is you have someone that's boots on the ground every day going to listing appointment or showing homes or doing buyers. There's not one day that I'm not doing anything, and that's why I've been slacking on my videos. So I finally have a morning where I will be not running late. I'll be right on time to my next appointment, but I'm making this video because I needed to get some stuff out there. Now, agent selection is huge. Let's jump into that. I have 5 minutes. Let's hit some hard stuff. Agent selection is huge. I've had some agents that are just not holding par, getting snippy, don't understand contracts, some miss contracts. Oh my gosh, with me, and I felt bad for them, but in our favor, fair enough. Another one's just feisty. Again, you gotta pick the right agent that's gonna work with you, that you're gonna trust, that's gonna have your best interest, but also has the history, and not just history, but this last year history, year before history, not 20 years history and then sporadically here and there, and who knows. I think you really need to have someone that's selling homes constantly still, that's on the ground, that's doing the work, that you trust, that you want to work with. And that answers all your questions and work. Not everybody's going to mesh well with everybody, but you have to be able to trust a real estate broker And the same goes for your broker trusting your clients. I'm extremely selective with my clients, period. I am not going to work with someone that I don't trust personally, or that I don't think we're going to work well, or that's not going to listen to my advice and understand that, hey, this is a strategy when we negotiate inspection responses if we're listing, or how we're going to negotiate inspection responses when we're buying. How are we going to find the right home? What are we looking for? How are we going to navigate everything? But I will always give my advice. You are the boss. You get to make the decisions, but I want to make sure the decisions are sound decisions. We're not just out there stabbing at the dark and not making intelligent, dedicated, right decisions. So that's, you're going to pick and select your own agent. Agent's going to also select you, and not everybody gels, but hopefully you find that right person. So it's key, though, to have the right agent having your back. So if you need someone, you want to interview me, call me, because I will go over everything. It's all laid out, straightforward, no BS, no fluff, no here, this. What you get is what you see. Let's go ahead and sell or buy and do it right and strategically, and make sure we don't waste money on either end, and you're happy at the end. That's simple as that. 2, with agent selection, I get it, you gotta select. You also, like I was saying, with the contracts and negotiations is huge, but I'm also seeing people just not list right. Right now with the NAR rules, this is the last point, is you can negotiate as a listing agent. You can say, hey, look, my strategy, or at least what I do, is I have a percentage I want for my side for listing. Always, won't change. I'm sorry, that's what you're paid for. This is what you get. I have a solid listing percentage. Now, on the buyer side, I recommend now, because of the NAR rules, you can negotiate and put a percentage that you're comfortable with out there for the buyer side. Now, I will front load like I do with all my listings, and I'm telling all my agents this too. Be prepared. That buyer's agent, like myself with my buyers, is going to come and negotiate that listing commission for the buyer's agent. So I'm going to negotiate my buyer's agent commission, because when I'm running around with buyers, I have a signed contract saying I get this commission. Again, you get what you pay for. I am worth it. I have worked so long for this. Marketing analysis, macro, micro, anything. I can throw all these stupid different terms out. It doesn't matter what they say, but it's the experience and the knowledge that you have in real estate that equates to your percentage. I have a certain percentage on the buyer side, I have a certain percentage on the listing side. But when you list on my side with my listings, I'm going to put a percentage out there that the buyer's agent is either going to accept or they're going to negotiate. Now, I teach my listings that get ready for them to negotiate, but it's all relative. We can negotiate that, but it's also with the purchase price and the closing cost and no closing cost, closing date. Are we going to sell as is? How we're going to negotiate the home inspection? That's the whole point of a listing agent, is to teach that seller we're going to negotiate, and contingencies and plan A, B, and C, and how to adapt and maneuver with that listing. On the buyer side, when you're running around with the buyer's agent, I'm going to teach you again, one, this is my commission. Not compromising, but we'll go ahead and negotiate that. But I'm also going to negotiate the closing price, closing cost, how we're going to negotiate the inspection, what are we looking at with the home, location, how we're going to move and write the contract and offer so we get it accepted, but also we're able to maneuver and get the best deal for you. So on both sides, you need an agent that's going to handle and know how to strategically win for you and get the best price, best dollar deal, closing at the end, and finally making sure no one wastes time and everybody's happy. It's simple as that, straightforward, honest, and just making sure it works. Crucial to pick the right agent for this strategy. That's simple as that. So again, if you need an agent that wants to run over all that with you as a buyer, as a seller, and you need any information, even if you don't use me, call me. I will sit down with you. I'll go over all this, pick the agent that's right for you. At least you have all my knowledge. So that way you can know when the other agents are BSing and not BSing. Pick the right agent. Hopefully none of them BS, but welcome to real life. And then if you do want to call me back and say, yeah, we will use you, game on. And that has happened multiple times with me after they've interviewed multiple agents. And I love that feeling, because that's the whole point of this. Straightforward and honest, and tell them exactly how it's laid out. Sell it like I'm selling my parents' house or my own home. Welcome to real estate. Anyways, Captain Ron, I gotta go. Next appointment. Have a good day, everybody. See you guys later. Bye.